So every police union in the country endorses Donald Trump. My son-in-law is a cop, and I'm telling you, all the cops love Donald Trump. Now, the F.B.I. is also a law enforcement organization, and they hate Donald Trump. For 4 years, they've been undermining his presidencies, and they've been caught doing criminal acts to do so. So what's the disconnect? What makes one group of law enforcement guys like Donald Trump or love Donald Trump, and one group to hate Donald Trump? In this video, I'm going to tell you why that is, and if President Trump is listening, I'm going to give you some blue-collar common sense on how to fix it. It's an easy fix, I promise you. Listen to this fix. But first, for those who are not familiar with what I'm talking about, every police union in the United States of America has endorsed Donald Trump. Even the New York City Police Department, who's never endorsed a presidential candidate, has come out enthusiastically endorsing Donald Trump, because what they see going on with these liberal socialist policies that Joe Biden supports, even though he tries to come across as a moderate, he supports every one of them. He's on record supporting the no cash bail policy that they instituted in New York City. So when these cops catch dangerous criminals, they can't hold them because they say it's not fair if they don't have the cash to bail themselves out. He also said he supports, he wouldn't use the word defund, but he said he supports allocating money for police to different areas of society. So basically defunding police. Okay. Now the FBI, if you're not familiar with their crimes, they've been caught lying to the FISA court on 3 different occasions, literally lying to the FISA courts to get subpoenas to wiretap Trump's campaign, to spy basically on Trump and his campaign. And when he said this, years ago, the media laughed at him, and it turned out it was true. Also, recently we seen that they had a letter from John Brennan, the head of the CIA, handwritten letter. He was a CIA director under Obama, and also, for the record, John Brennan admits that he voted for a communist, that he was a communist as a young man. And Obama, who said his favorite professors at Harvard were the Marxists, seen him as a good pick for the head of the CIA. So this is who John Brennan is. So John Brennan wrote a letter while Obama was still president, and the letter says that Hillary Clinton thought up a Russian collusion scheme to a hoax, basically saying Donald Trump colluded with the Russians to win the election to take the focus off of her emails. If you remember, she had a bunch of emails, the FBI subpoena, and she smashed her hard drives and smashed all her phones and did everything someone would do if they wanted to hide a crime. But she needed to get the attention off, so she made this Russian hoax. Now that's the CIA, but the FBI, the reason I'm talking about the FBI is because they had this letter in their possession all this time. So they could have stopped this 2-year probe that Mueller did and spent $40 million investigating our president and hurting our national security while doing so. They could have stopped it, but they didn't. And then recently we found out that they had Hunter Biden's laptop during the whole Ukraine impeachment hoax. So if you remember, the Democrats were trying to impeach the president because he called the president of Ukraine. He said, listen, seems a little fishy to me that Joe Biden would get the prosecutor fired that was prosecuting his son and his son's company, that was investigating his son's company. Could you look into it and see if there's any corruption? And so the Democrats said, he was trying to hurt his political opponent, so therefore we can impeach him. At the time, there were 20 people running for the Democrat nominee, so Joe Biden wasn't his opponent at the time, so that was a lie. But the FBI had Hunter Biden's laptop that proved there was corruption. The laptop, we know that Hunter Biden was getting paid from he was getting Ukrainian deals because of his father. I mean, now it's out there. So if the FBI would have just showed Congress this, they could have shut down the impeachment. So why does the FBI hate Donald Trump so much when supposedly they're on the same side of the law as all the cops that love Donald Trump? Here's the answer, and here's the fix. To be an FBI agent, you're required to have a 4-year college degree. Most of our colleges today are filled with socialist professors. They indoctrinate these little kids coming out of high school, then right out of college they go into law enforcement and they push the socialist agenda they've been indoctrinated and learned. The fix is this: replace that 4-year degree requirement. Get rid of it. They want to get a degree, great, but there's another requirement. The requirement you need is 4 years of law enforcement, and you'll get all these cops that love Donald Trump joining the FBI. And I'll take it a step further, 4 years of military service as well. You don't have to lower the standards. Keep the exam to get in just as hard. Keep the training just as hard. But you will have a better crop of guys. You will have dedicated, patriotic men and women who love the United States of America and way more experience. Who would you rather have? Someone who's been on the street 4 or 5 years fighting crime, or some kid right out of college that's never had a real job in his life? Who you want to give a gun to? Who you want to give all that power and authority to? I mean, the FBI has more power and authority than any other organization in this country. So that's the fix. And I would take it a step further and get rid of the 35-year age limit. There's like a 35-year age limit, because then you can get retired cops and retired military guys. Imagine 25-year police veteran from New York City coming into the FBI. What a wealth of experience that he would bring. We would have the best law enforcement ever. So then the cherry on the ice cream would be replace Director Wray, who's been allowing these men to cover all this stuff up, and put Rudy Giuliani as the new FBI director. Rudy Giuliani, a lot of people don't realize, before he was America's mayor, was a U.S. attorney in New York City, and he put more mobsters behind bars than any lawman in history. And he put a lot of corrupt politicians behind bars too. In fact, the only other guy that probably put more politicians away was Chris Christie, who would be a good second pick if Rudy Giuliani turned it down for whatever reason. So President Trump put Rudy in charge of the FBI, let cops and veterans that love you work for him, and you would have the best FBI. You would transform this country, and you wouldn't have to worry about the FBI spying on you, lying about you, setting you up, or the next president, even if he's a Democrat. You wouldn't have to worry about it, because you would have men of integrity, men that prove themselves in the line of duty. So there you have it. The problem and the fix from a blue-collar perspective. God bless.